Keap is a light CRM. It is the baby brother of Infusionsoft, which is a much more powerful CRM and automation system. This is the home page. You can got your leads, jobs, you can do invoicing, and you can do your email broadcasts. Here we've got tasks and appointments and any recent activity, just as a bit of an overview. There is an app coming for the Australian market, and you're able to capture new leads with lead forms. So let's have a look at contacts. This is all dummy data. In contact, obviously you can import from a spreadsheet, a CSV. There is a template that you'll need to follow. You can scan, so clicking on there, you can scan business cards with the Keap mobile app. You can add contacts. If we click on here, you can see activity, any details about the person. You can also add additional details and custom contact records. So here are some of the examples: phone numbers, multiple custom fields. So if you need to know either a tracking number from another system, or you want to know the anniversary date of when you started working with them, or any other particular date that is useful, text, numbers, that sort of thing. Social pages and websites, billing address, multiple addresses such as shipping and additional addresses, any other info. Here we've got the birth date, spouse name, and other phone numbers, middle name, nickname, etc. And then you can email them. So you can write a specific email. You can sync certain accounts. You can apply meetings and run automations based around that. You can do invoices and create quotes, and then have automations run based on that. You also have the ability to create tasks, notes, files, such as any proposal documentation you want to save up against their record, any tags, and to see what campaigns they're in. So looking at tasks, we can see that we've got a task list, and if you click in, you can add any notes and see who's associated with that task, and you can mark it as complete, as well as set due dates. In the appointments, you can share a booking link and stop going to and fro. In pipeline stages, you can create a deal. Here we've got different stages of the pipeline, so new, qualifying. You can rename these and add more if you like. Here we can set up an automation based on the pipeline. So when you move a deal, for example, this is a deal. I'll just talk about this before we get rid of it. Is you can create those. When you move an opportunity, it can create a tag, which can then trigger an automation, which we'll see in the campaign builder. So click on the creating a note or a deal. You can select what stage they're in, obviously change their name, the deal value. You can add any notes, you can add contacts to them, and you can add an estimated close date. You can also email based on that opportunity. When you want to change the location and the position of each one as they move down the pipeline, you can just click and drag them, and they will appear in the different stages. So you'll have a good picture of where everyone's at, and you'll also get a total of the amount in each stage. Going to the money section, there is invoicing and quotes, which you can connect certain bank accounts. This I don't believe is ready in Australia yet, however it is coming soon. The next is broadcasts. In broadcasts, it's similar to MailChimp, however there's a little bit more power behind it. So I can create a broadcast, and this can either be a specific email that just goes out to an individual or a group, or even all your contacts. Going to the advanced builder, there is a little bit more power in terms of the templates that you use. You can set a predefined template for your monthly newsletter. You can use one of the templates in here, or you can do what I do and click and go and build your own each time. In the template builder, you can see that there is a body of text. You can drag in images, video, and a signature to personalize your message. You can also use buttons which link off to perhaps downloading a document, or going to a web form, or going to a website, or leaving a review, or whatever you would like to do. And then you can change styles and designs and that sort of thing as well. So as well as future send as well. So you can preview your design. You can see what it looks like on mobile or on PC. You can also then save it as a template. So once you've made your perfect design, you can just change the text as you need and go from there. And then the other thing too is if you want them all to be sent on a specific date, then they can go out on a specific time and date as determined by you. Campaigns. This is where the real magic of the system comes into play. So we'll just go into one of these dummy campaigns. And then here we have the campaign builder. The campaign builder is a very powerful custom drag and drop tool that allows you to create custom campaigns like these, which can either be for the purpose of selling something or for the purpose of perhaps getting them to visit a website or getting them to download a document. Here we have an example of an API which goes to a sequence which asks the customer to download a call to action or a lead magnet sort of thing, almost like a get the free guide on X when you apply the details. So that might be from another software platform. This might be a spreadsheet that we've uploaded. This might be a landing page that you put onto Facebook or LinkedIn or something like that. And then this is a pop-up that comes on your website. You can also have a web form so that you can connect that to your website as a button. Click here to find out, to put in your details and get more, and then go from there. Once they've been captured, then we can offer them 3 emails to basically enable them to download the document that you want them to have. And in here you can see there's the same builder. I've already dragged out a few items here. So I've added an image, some text, and a button. And the button can be related to a download, going off to a URL, an email address, a phone number, another landing page, a web form, or an order form. So once we've done that, then you've got the option to give them a few more opportunities to actually download that document. So rather than sending it once and hoping for the best, we're giving them 3 attempts to do so. Then we've created a link click goal, which is linked to all of the buttons in each of those emails. So as soon as they click the email, they won't get the, so if they click the button in the first email, they won't get emails 2 or 3, or if they do it in 2, they won't get 3, and so on and so forth. And I've also created a bypass here with this line, which means that once they get to the end of the 3rd email, they will automatically get put across into what I normally deem as the story sequence. Now in here, you've got a few examples, but I would typically add perhaps 10 to 12 emails which work the customer towards understanding who you are, what your business does, why you help, and how you're different to others. And as you can see, you can easily drag these across. You may want to add certain additional elements in there. For example, in here, I've just deleted that connection, and I'm going to create a HTTP post, which I can link with an SMS, bulk SMS software, so that when that one person gets to that one point in the software, they'll get the first email, there'll be a delay, perhaps a week, and then there'll be a text and an email. So there's two channels that we can approach them on. So then you might have perhaps the first email go out with a 1-day delay or a 30-minute delay. You can simply click in and decide how many days, weeks, months that you want to delay, or none at all if you need it to happen immediately. There are field timers as well. Field timers can be based on a specific date, so you may have a countdown of emails that lead to an event that you're running, or perhaps someone's birthday or a specific anniversary date, or even if that's the day that you begin a project, you can get the customer excited about that project before it commences. The other things you can do through here is apply tags, which can trigger other actions. So I might have a tag at the start here, which could then trigger a long-term nurture, which is delayed by 30 days. So as soon as they get into my sales funnel, if they're not interested in buying right away, they're going to get the long-term nurture, and we're going to, or in 30 days away from this point in time, and they're going to be reminded of who I am, how I help, and potentially become a customer down the track. So we're not wasting the effort of found them as a customer. The other things we can do is create tasks. So perhaps at the end, if they get there, we might create a task to call, or perhaps at different stages throughout the process. The other things we might do is create a field value. So we want to identify them as having been through this process, or perhaps assign them to a particular owner. So maybe when they come in, we can give them a web form and identify what kind of person they are. So in this one, we've got a tag applied. So they've either clicked another automation somewhere else, they've come in here, and we've got a few emails asking them who they are and what kind of business they want to do with us. Then, based on their response in the web form, which is a simple builder, I can add in a thank you page. I can determine some settings, but most of all, I can drag in things like questionnaires with a checkbox, and I can drag in maybe radio buttons. I can drag in their address details if we want to collect their address details, and then we can pretty that up with some formatting and add in some images and some other text to help them along. So based on their input of that form, we can then perhaps assign them either a specific task or perhaps a date of when they want to do business with us. Let's just say they want to book a time, and they put in the appointment, and then we send an email saying thank you for the appointment, and here's the information you need. And then we can schedule a reminder sequence based on that date to make sure they're actually turning up. The other things you can do is perhaps assign it to a specific owner. So if, for example, it's you have one specialist in your organization, you can assign them based on their decision that they, in the web form, that they need to see that specialist, and then apply it to them. Perhaps you may even create a note against their record, and then perhaps anything else you would like to do as far as a task goes. The other thing is a sequence of actions that occur after someone's been in your process. So drawing out a process here, we want to create a back of house version of tasks that need to be completed. So we can create a trigger. So that trigger in this case is a tag applied to their name. We'll connect it up to a sequence. So here we're going to send out an email immediately. Then we're going to have a 3-day delay. Sent out on a weekday at 8 a.m. or it can be sent out at any time whenever that timer runs out. Then we're going to create a task to follow up to make sure that that email was either actioned or that the client has actually understood. And so you can create this as a phone call. Now we can title what needs to happen. In the body, we can also put in who the contact is. So we're going to put in their first name. We're going to put in a phone number. So if we determine that that's all we need, then we can assign it to a backup person. We can give it a certain priority, a due date and a time, and then notify specific users by email if that's necessary. So once we've done that, we just mark it to draft, from draft to ready. Then, if we like, we can run a series of other tasks. Perhaps 5 things need to be done for that client. And in that first stage, we've determined that because those tasks all need to be completed regardless of what happens, and it's the same for every client, we're going to create a task goal. And what that does is that it allows all those tasks and that person to remain in that part of the sequence until all of those tasks are completed. So we're going to link this up, and then we're going to have all of these tasks, which would also be named specifically, which we have not done here, and then make them that all of the tasks have to be completed before they can move to the next stage. Perhaps you could even make it as though any of the tasks have been completed. Up to you. Then we're going to create the next set of steps. This is useful when a large number of things in a process pipeline need to be actioned before a customer is onboarded or their work individually is done. And then that way we can just track what needs to happen and how that's going for them. Then, based on the outcome of those tasks, we can do other things such as, once those tasks are completed, now we're going to send them an email and we will merge tag certain things in, or perhaps give them a, for example, this could be a good onboarding sequence. These are the emails that, or the tasks that need to occur before they become a customer. Once they have finished and become a customer, now we're going to send an onboarding sequence. So we're going to send 5 emails, 1 a day over the next 5 working days, to tell them how we work with them and how we can best serve them over the long term. So once that's done, you'll find that your customers will have a much better understanding of how to work with you. You'll find yourself explaining yourself less and the process less. They'll feel as though they have a concierge service and that are able to do better things with you. The other thing that you can do in these sequences is perhaps run a upsell campaign and try to educate them about other services or complementary products with perhaps SaaS partners that you work with. As you can see, the campaign builder is quite a complex beast, but even though it looks quite complex, it is extremely powerful. And when done right, it can do a lot for your business. So that's Keap. And then the only final part is the reporting, in which you click in here and you've got a series of tag trackers, web form trackers. You can see how many emails have gone out, which ones are doing well, which ones aren't. Unsubscribe trackers, campaign progression. Is there anything that's holding your customers up? Campaign goal trackers, all that sort of thing. So it's a rather affordable. It's a small piece of software that is very much married to a much larger part of software. So you're getting a lot of value from quite a cheap entry point. I've also clicked up here. You've got this search bar, so you can search contacts from anywhere in the system. You can see I've got my name here, and then you can see any tasks I've created, any things that have occurred with me, and my details, and immediately we can contact from here. Thank you very much. This is Keap, the light version of Infusionsoft, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much.